planned cities of the Indus. So along the Indus River, what would be in today Pakistan and India, actually a little bit of China as well, is the earliest civilization, one of the four early civilizations, the Indus River civilization. And they had geography on their side. They first of all had the Indus River, which provided them with ample water for irrigation as well as for drinking, and they had the great mountains, what would be considered Mount Everest today, to protect them from enemies. However, they also had environmental issues, main one being monsoons. These are seasonal winds that create major floods, which can create major issues for any civilization, even in the 21st century. Now, the civilization existed almost 10,000 years ago, and it was from around 33,200 BC, where there was a clear remnant of them using the Indus River as a source of irrigation. The city was planned. That's a key word, a planned city. So it means it was all organized and set before the building begun. So think about, there's unplanned and planned cities today around the world. For example, if you go to certain parts of the United States, you'll notice that clearly those areas were planned. So there's plenty of suburbs that look like this. So as you can see, clearly all the houses were sort of set before any of the buildings of the first houses begun. So this is an example of a planned city, or in this case a planned suburb. Now if you look at other parts of the world, especially big cities, you'll notice things aren't so neatly laid out. These are examples of cities that aren't planned, right? Constantly more building on top of each other. So on the left, I think that's Hong Kong, and on the right, that's New York City. So those are examples of cities that are not planned. The main two cities in this civilization was Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. And the culture was interesting in the sense that all people were equal. So almost the exact opposite of what we saw with the Egyptians, who looked at their pharaohs as god kings. Instead, there were no social classes. Animals played a major role. And what's another very interesting thing about the Indus is their language has never been deciphered. So we know they had some sort of writing, and many different historians, archaeologists, they've tried their best, anthropologists, to decipher it, but they still have yet to figure out what the writing means that they left. In regards to religion, the priests were closely linked to the ruler, so this is again a pattern we're seeing reoccurring, where religious leaders seem to be closely connected to political leaders, and some religious artifacts show that maybe there was some connection to Hinduism, which we'll look more into at chapter 3. So trade was key for Indus Valley because they were close to the Sumerians. The Sumerians, as mentioned in section 1, were very open to trade because they lacked natural resources themselves. So there are some remnants and some evidence showing that the two civilizations did have some sort of interaction and trade with each other. Now the end of the Indus is a big mystery, and we're not quite sure how it happened. Some people say it was drought, some people say it was decline in trade with Egypt, which meant they had less sources left. Another theory is that climate change may have affected their agriculture or may have increased or decreased flooding. Maybe monsoons took them out. There's no clear reason how and why. And this is not the first time you'll hear about a civilization coming to an end being unknown. This is just simply because it's just so long ago, right? This isn't 100 years ago, 500 years ago. There's just no documentation in regards to how the Indus Valley ended. So I want to take you through a website now. Credit to BBC for putting together this website. It's very interactive. There's actually different modules here you can click on. It talks to you about the Indus Valley civilization. So for example, we'll click on this first one here. Who were the Indus people? And as you can see, it's very active. There's videos. And yes, we will go through this during class time. But if you want to take a look before, link is below in the description. Please check it out. Here are the copyright disclaimers. Have an excellent day. Goodbye.